Hi all. Just a minute. Hi all. Welcome to the event. Our live event today on YouTube is a roadmap to become a front-end developer. So we'll be seeing the most essential tips on how to become a front-end developer. So myself, Indira, so I'm an instructor at Byte Academy. So let's wait for a minute for others to join and continue. Hi all, thanks for joining. So once again, welcome to all of you. So before we begin, a few minutes, let's take a look at, I just wanted you to know about the Discord community of ours. So please join us in our free community on Discord. So you can experience this workshop fully there if you join, because we'll be sharing the materials over there in the Discord community. So the Nestria Discord community, we have a community in Discord called Nestria. So you will have many channels over there discussing about technical topics, career related topics, job related topics, job posting, etc. Okay. So, and the link to join the Nestria Discord community is given in the description box of this video. So the link to download Discord and join the Nestria community is given in the description box. And at the end of this presentation, I will walk you through our Nestria Discord community also. So Nestria is a partner or a sister company of Byte. Okay. So let's start. So once again, welcome to all of you. So I'm Indira. So I'm an instructor at Byte Academy. So today's topic is a roadmap to become a front-end developer. So we'll be seeing most essential tips on how to become a front-end developer who wanted to come into or who wanted to start their career as a front-end developer today. Okay, so let's start. So before going to front-end, let's see what is a full stack web development. So front-end development is a part of full stack web development. So what do you mean by full stack? What do you mean by full stack and what do you mean by full stack web development? Okay, so the whole process is to develop a web application. For example, you can say a website, that's a web application. Okay, so full stack web development is the process or to develop a full-fledged web application which is available on internet, or you can take a URL of the website and take that. So any website you can say like it's a web application. So in the development of that web application, there are many parts. So if you're saying like full stack web development, there are many parts in that. So they are front-end, back-end, and database. So we are going to look in details of front-end development today. But before that, we are seeing full stack web development. So full stack web development includes front-end development, back-end development, and back-end itself, there is database also. There are three things. So front-end, what is front-end? So front-end is the user interface that user interacts with. Okay, so you're taking a URL and taking a website, the whatever you see on the screen in the website. So that is the user interface the user of the website or the web application interacts with. So it is also known as client-side development. Backend. So you have a button to click. Okay, request a callback, and when you click on the button request a callback, you'll give your details. For example, you'll be giving your email ID and phone number and will be clicking on submit. Okay, so what is happening behind the scenes? You don't know. The front end, the user. Okay, the user don't know. So there will be some functionality. Okay, you need to write code for that functionality. Something like you have entered your name and email ID and mobile number. Those details should be gone to somewhere and should get stored into somewhere. For example, it will be getting stored in the database. Okay, and whenever required, they can take that up and call you back. So there is some functionalities like that. So that is called as backend development. So you need to write code for that. So it is the backend means the behind the scenes functionality that is not visible to the user, but is responsible for the smooth functioning of the website. Okay, so it's also known as the server side. And database, yeah, surely you will need a database. So what's a database? Is some storage space to store your data. You will have many data, right? So for example, you are you're doing a registration functionality. You are giving many details in a website. So those details should be stored forever, right? So whenever you log in next time, it should not ask you to sign up. So these details should be stored in the database in the backend. Okay, so that is what is database. What database do? It stores a large amount of information in an efficient and structured way. So full stack web development includes front end, backend, and database. Let's see a diagram. So in a full stack web development, let's see. So this is front end. Okay, client side, also called as client side. This is backend, also called as server side. So let's say you're opening a website in your computer or laptop or phone or tablet. Okay, the screen, whatever you're seeing, the UI or the user interface, what you are seeing, that is what is the front end. And the user interface, you're interacting with the buttons, images, okay, and the animations, whatever you're seeing on their screen. That is what is the user interface, and the development of those screen, those user interface, that is the front end development. So front end will be like this. Okay, the technologies used are HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So user interface is the front end. Okay, let's say I'm clicking on a button after giving my registration details. So it needs to go to somewhere. Okay, so let's say you're signing up in a website. So those registration details should go into somewhere, the server of that website. Okay, so that is called as backend or the web server side. Okay, server side includes server and database. So see, the request went to server. Okay, server passed that server side. You will write code to store those details into the database. So your details, your data storage. So your data goes to database. So your data will be here, and the code to manipulate the data, access the database or insert data into the database or extract data into the database, all these are there in the server, like server side. So that is what is server side. So backend includes server and database actually. So there are many technologies you can do use on server side, PHP, ASP.NET. You can use Python in the backend, Python framework. You can use Java, Node.js. Okay. Database. There are many database management system you can use in a web application or a full stack web development. You can use either SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB, etc. So whichever you're comfortable with. So the full stack web development will look like this. Let's see the technologies used in front end. Okay, so we are interested in front end, right? So yeah, so you're interested here. So the main and basic technologies used in front end are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So almost everything you'll be able to do if you know these basic skills, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So there are many other technologies which you can be used in the front end. So if you're someone who is looking to become, who wanted to become a front end developer, you'll have to see some of this. You need to learn the basic, you need to start from the basic things. So let's see a diagram which shows all the front end technologies. So front end, okay, first and the foremost skill you need to know is HTML. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. So we will see that. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So HTML, using HTML, you will create your web page elements like button, text, image. Okay. And using CSS, you will be giving styles to your page like background image, color, font color, okay, font style, and some animations, etc. So HTML, CSS. So CSS have some CSS frameworks. There are many CSS frameworks. Some of them you might have heard about. Bootstrap is very popular. Okay. Semantic UI. So these many CSS frameworks are there. CSS preprocessors are there, SaaS less. Okay, so this is a overall view of all the technologies that can be used in front end and JavaScript. So JavaScript, plain JavaScript, which is called as vanilla JavaScript. So these three things, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, that is what you have to start with when you want to become a front end developer. So when you need to choose between, okay, so full stack web development, you know what it is right now. So you select according to your interest. Okay, let's say your interest is to become a front end developer. So JavaScript, plain JavaScript, okay, you can use many things, almost everything can be done, but there are many frameworks in JavaScript also. Angular, Vue, jQuery, React. Okay, so all these are popular. So React, I think React is the most popular one. Most of the companies are using now. So Angular JS, inside that there are many things. Vue, jQuery, And jQuery also is kind of very important only. React.js. Okay. So there are many versions of React and things. There are many other JavaScript libraries also. So React is kind of a pseudo framework. So people will be calling React as a front-end framework also. You might have heard about that. So basically it's a JavaScript framework, sorry, JavaScript library. So JavaScript libraries, jQuery, React, and some other things. Frameworks, Angular and Vue. So React also is called as a framework sometimes. So it is like more than a library. That's why it is called as, and it is very near to a framework. So that's why it's called as a framework also. So these are the technologies as a whole. So let's see, as a front-end developer, where to start. Okay, so you should know how the web works. That is very important. So as a front-end developer, you should have a basic idea of the working of the web and the different protocols for communication over the web. So if it is a web, it is based on a client-server technology. Okay, so there are communication protocols between the client. The client is your web browser. Let's say you use a Chrome browser. So that browser is your client or the web client. So from your browser, from your client, you'll be sending request to your web server. Okay, which can be another machine or another program somewhere else, or maybe in your own computer. Okay, so let's say Gmail server, that's a web server. Okay, so the Gmail desktop, right? The Gmail screen, when you log into Gmail, you get a user interface, okay, where you can select primary emails, inbox, sendbox. So that is the user interface. And whenever you're doing something, you'll be sending a request to the server, and server will handle the database and all. So there will be messages going. So there'll be protocols, client server protocols and all in between. So you basically you need to know how the web works. So it will be very helpful as a front-end developer. You should have a basic idea of that, how the web, how things works in web, and the different protocols for communication over the web. So it is good to have the basic idea of how the internet works, how client and server interacts. So client server model and the domain name server, the DNS system, okay, and the components of a website, that is code files, assets, etc. And while it is not important to know all the communication protocols in detail, it's not that important. You need to know the HTTP or HTTPS protocols in detail. That's not required, but you should know the basics to start with. The basic knowledge of these protocols will help you to develop secure website, which are critical nowadays. The security is very important. So HTTPS is one of the secure communication protocols that is a must know. Now, next, learn the fundamentals. So for stepping into front-end development, the most essential skills you should have are, we know, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these skills are the bare minimum to start with front-end development. So note that front-end web development is not just limited to these three skills. There are a lot of many things, but if you don't know these things, you cannot even start. Okay, and you can do most of the things, 90% of the things, if you are an expert in JavaScript in the front end. Okay, but later on, for easiness and reusability and all, you will need to use many frameworks and all to make your development more faster. But as a beginner, as a must know, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are the must knows. So it is not just limited to these three skills, but there are many more technologies that you will need to learn to excel as a front-end developer, okay, in 2023. So let's see HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You should start with this, learn this, practice this, and create websites using these three things as much as you can. That's what you have to do. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. That is used to create websites, general structure, and the content. Okay, whatever content you are seeing, there are many types of contents or the elements in a web page that you see on the screen. So buttons, image, sliders, navbars, text, list. So all these are HTML elements. CSS. So once you create all the elements, it's not enough, right? You need to style these elements or you need to style your web page. So CSS comes into picture there. Stands for cascading style sheet. So using which you can add styles to your web pages like color, font, layout, animations, etc. So with CSS, you can also make responsive websites that can change layout and styles according to the device resolution and orientation so that users have a seamless experience while using your website on devices of any size. So what does that mean is when you're seeing your website in a laptop, okay, everything will be fine. But when you're seeing it in a tablet or when you're seeing it in a mobile phone, it should not look weird, right? So you need to write code in media query in CSS to manage. User will get a seamless experience. So whenever they are taking, you don't know when your website is the users of your website is taking that website in many kind of devices. Like most of them will be taking it on a laptop, but if somebody is taking it in devices which has different screen sizes, okay, your site should not look weird. So you can manage that things by writing CSS codes apart from the styling. Okay, so the next step is to add actions to our website. So now your website is kind of ready, but it is static. Okay, so it has some elements, it has some color layout and kind of animation and things. But the styling, like the actions, there needs to be some action. For example, if you're clicking on a button, so some pop-up window or some pop-up dialog box should come and display something. Your login is not successful or you have successfully logged in. So that kind of dynamicity you can add using JavaScript. So the next step is to add actions to our website. So this is done using the JavaScript programming language. So it improves the interactivity of your website. You can also create dynamic user interface elements using JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript adds functionality to your website. It helps you to make your website dynamic. Now, you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's better to learn one of the CSS frameworks. Okay, so once you are comfortable with the basics, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, it is time to move on to the roadmap for front end. So that is learning any of the CSS frameworks. So CSS frameworks will make your development faster and easier rather than using plain CSS code. So they consist of several CSS style sheet or elements that are ready to use. Okay, so allowing developers to save time that is otherwise spent in styling a website. So if you know how to use a CSS framework or a CSS library, a lot of time will be saved and you can reuse many things also. So that is the next step once you're comfortable with the basics. So there are many CSS frameworks, pick one. Okay, don't try to learn more than one framework in any of the technology or language. Okay, don't learn too much. Try to become expert or try to become an intermediate or even you are a beginner. Pick one, the most popular, most commonly used one. So there are many CSS frameworks: Bootstrap, Materialize, Tile, Tailwind, Semantic UI, etc. So I would suggest you as a beginner, you can better start with Bootstrap. Okay, so Bootstrap's own website, just click on the getting started button. It will only like it is, you can learn by yourself using that. Just copy paste the code, add the necessary links and copy paste the code Okay, so there are many ready-made elements available in the whenever you are using Bootstrap library. So it will save a lot of time, and it will if you wanted to create a specific kind of button, if you're writing code in CSS, it will take a lot of time, but in Bootstrap there will be many kind of buttons already available ready made, so you can choose pick any one of them, just copy paste the code to your file. That's done. Okay, so this ready made components allow you to make your development much faster, and Bootstrap is not that difficult to learn also, so you can better start with Bootstrap. Now pick up your JavaScript framework. So people may ask you like, without JavaScript framework things cannot be done. No, it is not like that. If you're an expert in JavaScript, you can do almost everything. Okay, but if you are you wanted to develop a large project and things are, it's a heavy front end thing, it's always better to learn a JavaScript framework. So JavaScript framework support features and benefits beyond plain or vanilla JavaScripts. So frameworks offer enhanced functionality without writing the code from scratch. Same here. So it will make your JavaScript development easier and faster. Only thing, there will be a little like the learning curve. You need to learn JavaScript framework. So the starting, it will take some time, but once you learn the framework, it will make your work easy. So this is the reason why front-end developers usually prefer using a framework over plain JavaScript. Okay, so pick up one of your JavaScript framework also. Don't try to learn every framework available. So there are some JavaScript framework or libraries available are React, Angular, Vue, etc. Some of the popular JavaScript frameworks for front-end development. So you can start with learning React framework. Okay, so one of the popular among all these. So it enables you to add everything as a React component. So in React, everything in the user interface is a React component. So what's the advantage of that? You'll create a component only once. So wherever you want to use that, suppose a login component, wherever you want to use, wherever you want to use login functionality in your user interface, you will reuse that component. Okay, so start learning React. Now, if you are into coding, if you are into technology, if you are into software, so one most important thing is you need to learn version control system, any of the version control system. So a version control system is useful if you're working on a large project or need to collaborate with other developers. So it is a software. Okay, version control system is a software which stores your code and it stores your code and manage your code file. So it is a software that allows you to manage and track changes to the source code and also revert to the previous version of the code. So your code will be better maintained. And instead of manually reverting the changes, there are commands in version control system to do that. It enhances the development speed and experience as you spend less time managing the code. Okay, if you're doing a very small project, freelancing it, you may not require a version control system. But in a development environment, in a company, a project and all, if many developers are involved, you need to have a version control system to manage your code. Okay, otherwise your code after some time it will become a mess, and there will be conflicts also. If some functionality is working now, may not work after some time because someone else might have replaced that, some line you have added. So that's not the way to maintain the code, right? So this version control system is to maintain your code. So it reduces the possibilities of code conflicts and helps to recover your code in case you want to revert to a previous version and all. Okay, so branching and the branching functionality in the version control system will help you to do so. So Git and GitHub. So Git is the most popular and widely used version control system. So learn Git, even if you are not a front-end developer. If you are interested into coding, one thing you need to know is version control system. Here also, so front-end developer also have to learn version control system. So these are the things, basic. So good to know when going to advanced. So when you wanted to go a little bit advanced, it is good to learn these things. Okay, so now you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you know one CSS framework, Bootstrap. You know one JavaScript library, React. Okay, so in JavaScript library or framework, React. So let's say in in the JavaScript framework, state management is very important. So at a particular moment, your component will have a particular state. That means that component's values, the data values will be something. Okay, after a moment it changes. Then that means the state of the component changed. So managing states, when the component state component state changes, you need to do this. When the state changes to something else, some other value, you may need to do something else. So the state management is very important in the front end, especially on a JavaScript framework. State management is very important. So learn state management library. That will be a good thing if you are going, beyond the basics. So there are many state management libraries. Certain state management libraries will work with specific frameworks only. So according to the framework you pick, you need to find out the state management library which will work with that particular framework. So example for React, Redux is one of the state management library which will work well with React. And next thing, when you do the front-end development, you will come across, when you do front-end development, you'll come across package managers. When you are doing the framework installation and all, somewhere you'll be coming across package managers. So what are package managers? They are softwares to install and manage software packages. So you need to know the basics of package managers. So NPM, Node package managers, and Yarn, there are two package managers. You can pick one, either NPM or learn NPM. If you're picking React, learn NPM as a package manager, only the basics. And if you're developing whatever things, you need to test it, right? So learn testing is also one important thing. Okay, so there can be many type of testing, unit testing, component testing. Okay, so people will write unit test cases to test cases to test functionalities. So that is there. There are many tools available for testing websites. So you can learn one of the testing tool and learn about testing websites, or how to write testing code, or how to use a testing tool. So Mocha, Cypress, these are two testing tools you can look for. Learn tools for website deployment. So once you have created your website, okay, once you have created your screen or website or web application, whatever, you need to deploy it, right? You need to deploy it in the internet so that everyone will be able to access it using a website address or URL. Okay, so website deployment. In large companies, you may not be doing the deployment part always, but still learn the tools for website deployment. Okay, Heroku is one tool which you can learn by yourself. Okay, easily. You can deploy your websites free also there. And most popular the website deployment tools used by the companies are Amazon Web Services or GCP, like Google Cloud Platform. And now let's go and learn some advanced topic. Then those are like Rust and Crows. Okay, so Rust framework and Crows. So these are some advanced topic you can learn. So what else? Now you are all set. So by learning the above skills, you are now a front-end developer, let's say. So what is next? Okay, let's say you have learned most of the things, and what you will be going to do next. You developed some sample projects or simple projects, whatever you know. You freelance something, you work with worked as a trainee or something, you have done some projects. What will you do if you work as an intern? And next step is to apply for a job, right? So you're a front end developer, okay. So what stands out? So you don't need to create. It's better to have a basic resume also, but you don't need to create a basic word resume. You're a front end developer, you can create your own um, personal portfolio website, right? So to stand out from all other applicants, it's a good idea to build your portfolio website. So a portfolio website is what, where you can add information about you, your experiences, your skills, and the demo or the link for your past project. You can add the GitHub links, Git links for your projects, and your testimonials if you have any. Okay, if you have got any appreciation from any of the people you worked with, you can add that. So you can host your portfolio also, so that the hiring managers and your potential employees can see your past projects and skills in action. So your portfolio can help you create a positive impression on the hiring committee and land into a job, right? Instead of only using the basic word CV, you can use a personal portfolio as your resume. So that will be a good idea. Okay, so that's it, all set. Thanks all for joining. So if you want to connect with me in Discord, this is my Discord ID. Indira #2935. Okay, so now before we stop, I'll walk you through our Nestria Discord community. So the link to download Discord, you'll be getting in this description of this video. So once you download Discord, okay, it will be showing the symbol will be showing the icon of that application, Discord application. So better not to use the web version, browser version of that. Okay, you download it, install it, create an account, okay, and click on the link to join Nestria Community. Then after that, if you open the Discord, you will be able to see this symbol here. See, this is the symbol of Nestria. So when you click on that, in the left panel, you'll be able to see many things. So go to this getting started. Okay, you can see Byte Academy start here. You can read and understand these things. Nestria starts here. Okay, and important thing is join a topic. So we have many channels or groups where many discussions are going on related to tech topics, career, jobs, startups, etc. So you need to join the channel. So click on join a topic. So let's see. So we have these many channels or groups in Nestria server. So this is a Python channel. This is for JavaScript. This is for blockchain. This is for data science. This is for Byte Academy admissions. This for jobs and internships opportunities, career. So take this and click on all the symbols. Once you click on all these symbols, you will get these things in the left panel. So Python. So under Python, you will get Python launch and Python discussion. So Python related discussions will be going on in this channel, and Python related resources will be shared here. Same for data science launch and data science resources, JavaScript launch and JavaScript resources. And most importantly, we have blockchain also. Most importantly, we have careers channel. Okay, there are job openings, job launch, internship launch, interview practice channels. So active discussions are going on. People are sharing a material which is helping you to take further steps in your career also. So So once you click on that India flag symbol from here, you will be getting this. Okay, jobs launch. So recently many people have joined in this channel. So we are doing a free Python course next week, starting from April 3rd to 7, a 5-day Python fundamental course. So you'll be able to see the information, the details about that here also. So let's say this, yeah, 5 days free training on Python fundamentals. So you can click here and fill that form to register for that. So it is a free training, live training, 5 days training. So there are many other channels like fun channels, fun groups also, and you'll get notified about our YouTube events and other voice events, etc. on this. So click on this events. Okay. There are no upcoming events right now. So we'll be scheduling those events. And once it is scheduled in YouTube, you'll get it here. So right now, every Friday, we are doing one event at 3 p.m. IST. And don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel of ours. Okay. And let us know your comments below. So thank you all. Have a great day. Bye.